from the windup. Grounded right side and foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wax leading off for consecutive games after going 1 for 3 yesterday. Responsible for the only hit from the Gatemen yesterday in that loss to Orleans. 6-2 the final. Like we've said, game shortened to 6.5 innings. Wax in a 1-2 count. The pitch from Goodman. Misses downstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the leadoff man, Wax.
And Jason Wax really has been the leadoff man for Wareham now over the last few games. He's been at that top spot over the last 2, has been putting together competitive ABs, and off to that same type of start here tonight.
2-2. Lifted into right center field. Colin Larson over and right into the sun makes the grab for the first out of the inning. We'll set the field defensively for you here in the top of the first with 1 gone. It's Sean James making his second start and his second against Wareham. Only his 2 appearances have come against the Gatemen. Left to right in the infield, trying to help out their starter, Riley Goodman. It's J.P. Peltier at third base, Tyler Smolinski at short. Across the middle of the infield, making his second start of the summer, Cade Curlin and Quentin Coates at first base. Brings up R.J. Hamilton now for the Gatemen, batting second, a right on right. First pitch he sees, he takes. It's a called strike, outer third, 0-1. Playing left field for the Mariners is Charlie Bussey, roaming center, Micah Kirikoff, and the one who just retired, Jason Wax. Colin Larson rounds out the 9 defensively in right field. The 0-1. Grounded left side, past Peltier, snagged by Smolinski at short. Long throw, not in time. Infield single for R.J. Hamilton. It was a high chopper that got past the third baseman. Smolinski backed up Peltier, threw on the run, but that was a tough throw across his body. And the Gatemen have a 1-out base runner in the top of the first.
Yeah, just a really nice job by R.J. Hamilton to leg that one out, never give up on the play, make it down to first. He's somewhat of a speed threat as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to take second base here, throw a runner into scoring position. You and I have talked about how quintessential it is that the Wareham Gatemen score in a game first. Try and do that here with R.J. Hamilton.
Tony Lira steps in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch, he swings and misses, 0-1. Hamilton, 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts this summer. Brings in Tony Lira, the first baseman from Arizona. Started the season on a 7-game hit streak. Since then, though, hitless in back-to-back games. Batting third and a check on first. And Coates has trouble handling, but Hamilton back safely regardless. Count still 0-1 on Lira. 0 for his last 5. After the first 7 games of the season, Lira recorded a hit in each of the 7. The 0-1 popped up, middle of the infield. Now shallow left. Smolinski underneath it, and Bussey comes running in from left. He drops it. The throw goes to second and sails over the head of Curlin. And a defensive miscue from the Mariners puts 2 on and 1 away after Tony Lira got under the pitch and hardly got a hold of it, Dan, but the Mariners' lack of communication deemed costly.
Certainly. Smolinski originally had it. It was just to the left of second base. It was a mile-high pop-up. Bussey came running in, ended up calling off Smolinski, and then he couldn't make the play on the run. The ball dropped in shallow center field, so they had a chance to get Hamilton at second with the force out. That throw goes over the head of the second baseman. Wareham has to cash in here.
First pitch to Cohen Nicolai. Misses inside. Right on right. It's the first error of the season for Charlie Bussey. It's a Harwich defense that has been super clean in the field. The 3 starters in the outfield had yet to record an error until that one in the field from Bussey. 1-0 on Nicolai. Takes outside, 2 balls, no strikes, and Cohen Nicolai, last time he played Harwich, ended on a pretty strong note, Dan. A grand slam to walk things off at Spillane Field.
Didn't just have the grand slam, though. Also had another RBI in that game to finish with 5. So he was a run-producing machine in that last win for the Gatemen.
2 balls, no strikes on Nicolai. Swings and misses. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count now 2-1.
And this from Riley Goodman is what you're going to see. The fastball leads things. Then it's the cutter, slider, and changeup, but he uses the fastball 60% of the time against righties.
Right now he's facing the right-handed catcher, Nikolai. A 2-1 count with 2 on. Runners on the move. The pitch in there, but Hamilton takes third without a throw. Sean James not worried about it. And now the Gatemen have runners on the corners.
You're kind of wondering what happened there to Tony Lira. He didn't trail Hamilton on that. He stuck over at first.
Yeah, Lira not overly speedy, but now with runners on the corners, we'll see if he's a little bit more aggressive. 2-2, 1 away. Goodman. Set, fires. Grounded, right side, through the hole, base hit. And for the first time this season, the Gatemen strike first. It's 1-0 after an RBI single from Cohen Nikolai that scores R.J. Hamilton.
And that's what you have to do. Wareham's been on the other side of it all season long, where other teams have taken advantage of their mistakes. This time, Harwich commits an error in the field early on, and Wareham pounces on that. And you still have more work to do here. First and second with 1 out. Throw a crooked number up there on the board. It's a perfect opportunity to generate some early momentum here for the Gatemen.
It's a Wareham team where the story has been the slow starts, time and time again. First pitch here to Foster Apple. On the bottom rail, a called strike, 0-1. Another fastball at 96 miles an hour. Lira's on second. He reached on an error, and Cohen Nikolai singled. He's off of first. Not being held on by Coates. An 0-1 count with 1 away. Goodman takes a couple of looks at second, goes home. Swing and a miss. Apple behind 0-2. After a couple of games as the Wareham leadoff man, Apple batting 5th today. Last time it was Wareham versus Harwich. Apple did bat leadoff. He was 0 for 4, but did drive in a run. The 0-2. Misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That was the slider right there from Goodman. Only throws it 30% of the time against righties, and he really only has a 3-pitch mix against right-handed batters.
And it's primarily that fastball and slider. Those two combine for 90% of his pitches. The 1-2. Cut on and missed. Apple was uncomfortable. He goes slider and wipes out Apple. There's now 2 gone in the top of the first.
It seemed like Apple just realized a little bit too late that he wanted to swing, and then by the time he did, the ball was ready into the mitt. Unfortunate break there for Foster Apple, but still a chance to cash in here with 2 outs.
Now Braden Kersey steps in the left-handed batter's box. First swings he'll take since June 18th. That was 6 days ago. First pitch, he swings and misses. Kersey looking for his first hit of the summer. An 0 for 7 start from the designated hitter out of Mercer, headed to Tennessee. Got that weight lifted off his shoulders a little under 3 weeks ago. Out of the transfer portal, headed to the SEC. The pitch, called a strike. Bottom of the zone, and Kersey behind 0-2. And Dan, in those 7 at-bats, he struck out 5 times. Now he's behind in an 0-2 count.
Got a battle here with runners aboard as well.
2 on, 2 away. 0-2. Goodman from the stretch. He pitches. This is inside at the belt. Goodman thought it was strike 3. He started walking off the mound. But he ascends atop, and the count 1-2. Kersey stays alive. Just his 3rd game of the summer in the starting lineup. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Kersey down on strikes for the 6th time this summer, and that's how we end things in the top of the first. But not before Wareham gets on the board. 2 hits, 1 run, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. It's Wareham 1, Harwich 0. We head to the bottom of the first when we return here on the Wareham Gatemen Baseball Network.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy! Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Bottom of the first at White House Field, and the Gatemen, for the first time this season, can say they have a first-inning lead. They send Peyton Lee to the mound, the right-hander out of Arkansas.
Trying to build on that, and Lee got a little bit banged around in his first start, but he looks for a bounce back here in his second one. This past season with the Razorbacks, 7 games, 4 games started, finished with a 9.19 ERA, 16 strikeouts, and 6 walks. In that first game, it was against YD. 2 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. We did see him in a previous game against Katuitt. That was the first game of the season, but that was in the bullpen. That was not to start on the mound. So Lee looking to have a stronger go here today at White House Field.
He faces a Harwich lineup that ranks atop the Cape Cod League in batting average. They swing it at a .250 clip, and they lead the league in runs per game. They score more than 6. It's a Mariners team that's 5-3, but on a 2-game losing skid. Lefty, righty, lefty due up here in the bottom of the first. Colin Larson, J.P. Peltier, and Tyler Smolinski for the Mariners. Lee trying to bounce back after, like you said, Dan, poor start against Yarmouth Dennis. Lee, a 4-pitch mix. Throws the slider most out of any of the 4. Fastball, sinker, and a changeup. Lee looks in, gets the sign. First pitch of his evening is a fastball that misses outside at 94 miles an hour. And the count 1-0.
And it's important now that you actually have a lead for the first time to protect that lead. Love to see some early energy here out of Peyton Lee.
1-0, called strike, inside corner, back to the fastball, 1-1. Lee really solidly built, 6'5", 205-pound sophomore. Got some NCAA tournament experience this spring with the Razorbacks. The 1-1. Misses outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Lee pitched an inning and a third against Kansas in the Lawrence Regional, gave up a hit, no runs, and no walks. In his second start of the summer, behind 2-1 to the leadoff man, Colin Larson. Grounded, right side, foul ball. Larson out in front, and the count 2-2. Junior from Boston College. Batting .292, hitting atop the Mariners lineup. Lee shakes off a sign from Cohen Nicolai. Set. Winds and fires. Fastball misses downstairs. 96 miles an hour. Lee certainly flashing some velocity early on. Sat low to mid-90s in his first start. 3-2. Grounded foul. Right in between home plate. And the count now remains at 3-2.
Important that Lee gets this first out here and just tries to keep on fighting against a really skillful hitter in Larson. Might go to the slider here in a full count.
The payoff. Swung on, skied to center field, whacks into the left alley, ranges over, and makes the shoulder-high grab for the first out. Leadoff man retired. Nice job by Peyton Lee after Larson works the count full.
And what a way there to not issue the free pass. He had 5 walks last time across 2 innings against the YD Red Sox. That cannot be understated how important that first out is there for Peyton Lee, settling in, and now goes against another skillful hitter here for the Mariners.
That's J.P. Peltier, the right-handed third baseman, headed to Kentucky out of the transfer portal. from Wright State. Lee and the right on right. Out of the windup. He deals. Called strike. Outer third, 0-1. And that's what Peyton Lee does. Kind of felt like an outlier against YD a week ago. 62 pitches, just 27 strikes. But across his collegiate season, Lee threw a first pitch strike 75% of the time. On this one, he deals another strike. This time a slider on the inner third, and the count's 0-2.
And the strikeout rate also hovered at around 20% against both lefties and righties. So a guy with plenty of punch-out stuff.
0-2, one away. Swing and a miss. J.P. Peltier down on 3 strikes, and Peyton Lee has made quick work of this Harwich dangerous lineup. There's 2 down in the top of the first, bottom of the first, rather.
Just a great pitch right there. Fastball, slider, and pulls it across the body. Really nothing that Peltier can do there. And we just talked about it. You get off on the right foot with that first pitch strike, sets you up for the rest of the at-bat.
Yeah, tough guy to retire here now, though. It's Tyler Smolinski, the shortstop from Kansas State. First pitch, called a strike. Bottom of the zone, 0-1. Smolinski's batting .393, 4 extra base hits, 2 doubles, 2 home runs. With 2 down, the base is clear. The 0-1 pitch. Misses outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Smolinski against the Gatemen back on June 20th was 3 for 4 with a couple of RBIs. The Gatemen rallied. Pick up their second win of the year, 1-1. Misses outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Wareham leads it 1-0. Bottom of the first. Lee kicks, fires. Grounded right side, gloved by the first baseman Leary. Takes it to the bag himself and beats Smolinski by a step and a half. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field, and no runners left on base. Peyton Lee sends the top of the Harwich lineup down in order. We're through 1 at White House Field. It's the Gatemen with a 1-0 lead on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A-Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com. Top of the second at White House Field, Wareham with a 1-0 lead over Harwich. 7-8-9 due up. It's Dylan Dubovic, Caleb Barnett, and Henry DeGiorgio. Starting with the right fielder, Dylan Dubovic. Facing the starter, Riley Goodman, the sophomore. Into his windup, the pitch. Grounded right at the shortstop, Smolinski. Fields goes to first. Easy play. 1 pitch, 1 out for the starter, Goodman.
Can't really ask for a better bounce back after letting up that run in the first inning. That was partially his defense's fault. A nice job just getting Dubovic to roll over it. And now a chance to see a new guy in the lineup for Wareham.
The first at-bat of the summer for Caleb Barnett, the third baseman from Alabama. Two-way guy, 6'6", 220-pound sophomore. Didn't hit a ton with the Crimson Tide. First pitch he sees. Takes outside, ball 1. Recorded just 10 at-bats. Appeared in just 6 games as a hitter for the Crimson Tide. Reached base in 4 of the 6. 1-0. Goodman fires. Called a strike. 94-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees, 1-1. Bases clear, top of the second. Gatemen with a 1-0 lead after the RBI single from Cohen-Nicolai in the first. Goodman. Grounded foul, right side, slow roller. Dies in the grass in front of the on-deck circle, where Henry DeGiorgio's out to pick it up. DeGiorgio, the shortstop, on deck for the Gatemen. Barnett trying to reach in his first trip to the plate. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Barnett down on strikes. It's the third punch-out of the game for Riley Goodman, and Dan his third in the last 4 hitters.
He's been finding his flow, really, since he gave up the RBI single to Cohen-Nicolai. He's looked untouchable. So maybe it's just a matter of he saw that first one score and it made him a little bit angry, and now he's centered, but he looks unbeatable right now.
Brings up Henry DeGiorgio, the shortstop from Northeastern, making just his second appearance of the summer. Digs in the left-handed batter's box. First pitch. Takes inside for ball 1. DeGiorgio, one of just 3 lefty hitters in the Gatemen lineup. Was 0 for 1 versus Orleans yesterday. Was also in the Lawrence Regional, 1-0. Lifted left side, hooking foul out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. But we talked about it earlier. With Kansas and Arkansas, Peyton Lee, the starter for the Gatemen, getting in the NCAA tournament. Henry DeGiorgio, same place. And the pitch. Another one that's popped left side, foul ground. Peltier gives chase, runs out of room, and now strike 2 on DeGiorgio.
DeGiorgio, a guy that thrives against the fastball, especially against righties. He's knocked a couple out of play in this at-bat. 295 with the Huskies this past season.
Trying to give the Gatemen a 2-out base runner. Hitting 9th today. The pitch is swung on, grazed the dirt, dropped third strike. James out from his crouch, throws down to first. It's in time. 4 strikeouts now for Riley Goodman. He pitches a clean second frame after giving up a run in the first. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field, nobody left on base. We're through an inning and a half here at Harwich. It's the Gatemen with the 1-0 lead on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Bottom of the second, Gatemen lead it 1-0 at White House Field. It's the 4-5-6 hitters due up for the Mariners. Quentin Coates, Kevin Maluski, and Cade Kirtland, a trio of righties facing the starter Peyton Lee, who dealt a very, very clean frame in the first, went 3 up, 3 down. Now facing the right-handed first baseman Quentin Coates. First pitch from the windup of the inning. Fastball misses high, this one at 93, and the count 1-0. Lee needed just 14 pitches to retire the side in the first inning. He threw 62 pitches against YD in his first start, tossed just 2 innings. And a 1-0 count now. Misses outside with the fastball, 95 mile an hour, and the count 2-0. Coates batting cleanup today for the Mariners, hitting .231 this summer. 3 doubles. The pitch misses high and tight.
This is where Peyton Lee got into trouble last time, issuing the free pass, 5 walks against YD where he lost some of his control. And we didn't see any of that from him in the first inning. It was efficient, pounding the zone. He's missed upstairs 3 times.
3-0. This one a called strike at the belt. Goes to the fastball. Dots it at 95 miles an hour. Lee trying to battle back in the count. It's 3-1. Coach, the first baseman from Cincinnati. The 3-1 from Lee. Misses inside, a 5-pitch walk. That was what Lee struggled with, threw a ton of first pitch strikes in the first inning. That time gets behind and loses an opening battle to Quentin Coates.
And it's interesting, too, because for Peyton Lee, a guy who saw a decent amount of playing time at Arkansas, he only had an 8% walk rate. And the walk rate's been fairly high to start off this season with Wareham. So maybe it's just an adjustment of coming here, but not a team that you want to allow free passes to as well in Harwich.
Now that brings up the designated hitter, Kevin Maluski, his first appearance of the summer at the plate for Harwich. He takes inside. It's a called strike, 0-1. Maluski, the 6'5 senior from Mississippi State, batted .238 for the Bulldogs in the spring, started 39 games. Getting the day off defensively, easing into the Mariners lineup. The 0-1. Misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mississippi State nationally ranked this past spring. Earned the right to host a regional in the NCAA tournament. Seeded 14th. 1-1 with the runner on first and nobody out. The pitch from Lee from the stretch. Misses outside. Fastball at 96. And Lee, once again, working from behind in the count.
Really a count where you want to battle back. You don't want to give more chances here to a Harwich order that just is solid as it keeps on going down.
Pitch, hit on the ground, 2 hops, just short. DeGiorgio goes to second for 1. Hamilton the relay. In time. Leadoff walk is erased after a 6-4-3 double play. DeGiorgio to Hamilton on to Lira, and there's now 2 gone in the bottom of the second.
Really nice job by Peyton Lee to force the ground ball. DeGiorgio's there all the way, whips it over to second base. Hamilton on to first, a little bit of a stretch for Lira, but he's a big guy over there at first base. He can handle it, the 6'2", 223 redshirt sophomore. So a beautiful play, helps Peyton Lee, and now he can face the minimum here with an out in the second.
Yeah, it'll be a tough one to get. Cade Curlin digs in, first pitch. He swings and lines it into right field. Heading towards the gap, Dubovic on the run, and it 1 hops the wall. Curlin on his way to second. He's in standing up. He puts on the brake there. But a 2-out double, and even more so, that 6-4-3 double play proves costly for the Mariners, but comes up big for the Gatemen because that absolutely could have scored a run.
This game could have very easily been 1-1 right now. So that double play, massive for Wareham. At the end of the day now, it's just another runner over there at second base. You're going against Charlie Bussey, a guy who's been struggling a little bit as of late. Cohen DeCly goes out to talk with Peyton Lee really quickly out there on the mound, just so they're on the same page, because really, that ball from Curlin was smoked.
Yeah, first hit of the day for Harwich. It comes in the bottom of the second, trailing 1-0. Right on right, Bussey hitting .238, batting 7th tonight for the Mariners. As Lee steps off the mound, calls for time. It's granted. Right on right, first pitch with a runner in scoring position. He swings at the first pitch and grounds it to second. Gloved by Hamilton on the run, throws in the dirt, scooped out by the first baseman Tony Lira, and the side is retired. So after a 2-out double, that's all Harwich gets in the second inning. 1 hit, no runs, no errors in the field, and 1 runner left on base. We're through 2 at White House Field, and Wareham has a 1-0 lead on Cape League TV.
Child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Back to the top of the order for the Gatemen, who hold a 1-0 lead over the Mariners in the top of the third. Jason Wax, R.J. Hamilton, Tony Lira due up to face the starter Riley Goodman, who surrendered a run in the first inning but bounced back with a clean 1-2-3 second frame. Now retoes the slab to face Wax, who flew out to the right fielder Colin Larson to lead this game off. First pitch of the at-bat this time around, he takes outside 1-0.
He really found his groove in that second inning. He's retired 5 in a row. 4 of those have been strikeouts. Important to break that here if you're Jason Wax.
He swings at the 1-0 and pops it foul behind home plate. Wax from Tulane out of the transfer portal, heading to LSU after a stellar season with the Green Wave. Going up against his future teammate here today, Cade Curlin, the second baseman for Harwich, just finished up his spring with Florida, also entered the transfer portal, staying in conference and going to LSU. The 1-1 is skied left center field, dropping quickly, and it's down for a base hit. Wax does a very nice job. Pitch was in at the hands, and he flares it out to left center field for a base hit. Leadoff man aboard in the top of the third.
That's a great job right there by Jason Wax of not trying to do too much with the baseball. He just gets enough, flares it, and dunks into shallow center field right over the head of Smolinski, who tried to make the basket catch right there. Couldn't come up with it. And now a chance for Wareham to add on some more. Wax has got some speed over there at first. Could be a bunt opportunity, too, for R.J. Hamilton.
Hamilton's first pitch he sees, he takes. It's inside at the belt. 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count 1-0. Hamilton was struggling a little bit in that Harwich game back on the 20th, but since then, his one start was against the Commodores on Sunday, 1-0. Misses downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. And that was Hamilton's strongest game at the plate this season. 2 hits, 1 for extra bases. It was his first extra base hit of the season. And now digs in with a runner on first, no outs, and a 2-0 count. The pitch, he waves and misses. Tried to attack the high fastball. Comes up empty, and the count 2-1.
You can't blame him. Nothing better as a hitter when you see the fastball coming in, just trying to elevate it, match your hands to it, but blew it by Hamilton there.
2-1. Goodman nods, fires. Misses well downstairs. 3-1. 4 pitches, 4 fastballs in this battle with Hamilton, who singled and scored in the first. Gatemen lead at 1-0 now. It's the first time they can say that this year. Through the first 9 games of the summer, 3-1 misses inside, 5-pitch walk, and Wareham has 2 on and nobody out. But through the first 10 games, Dan, first 9 games rather, today game number 10, but through the first 9 games, they couldn't say that. The Gatemen hadn't scored first in any of the first 9 matchups.
And now it's time to take advantage. We talk about the mistakes and the woes for Wareham in those first 9 games. You've had runners now on base with no one out in both innings. You got first and second here with nobody out. I understand you have Tony Lira at the plate, but honestly, maybe throw down a bunt here. You want to score runs. This is situational hitting at its finest.
Right on right with 2 on, nobody out. First pitch to Lira is a slider that tails away. He takes for ball 1. Corners of the infield pinched in, middle of the infield back and pinched towards the bag in double play depth. 1-0 the count on Lira. Reached on an error in the first. 1-0 Goodman looks back at second. Now fires home. Misses upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes.
And a nice job, too, of Lira just waiting for Goodman to throw a strike because he was having trouble finding the zone against Hamilton, and now Lira having that same patience.
In that come-from-behind win for the Gatemen against the Mariners on Sunday. Put up a 6 spot in the bottom of the 9th. The 2-0. Dots the inside corner, a called strike, 2-1. But Lira responsible for delivering the 2 RBI single that tied the game at 4. And Cohen Nicolai followed. The eventual walk-off grand slam for Wareham to get that second victory of the year, an 8-4 final against Harwich. 2-1 on Lira with 2 on. Grounded foul left side into the Mariners' dugout along the third base side, and the count evens at 2-2. It's been a very steady dosage of the fastball for Riley Goodman.
And now Lira's got to see what he likes, what he doesn't like in the 2-ball, 2-strike count. It's been mostly top half of the zone here. See what he goes to here in the 2-2.
Still nobody out. Wax on second, Hamilton on first. The 2-2 lifted into center field. Kirikoff camps under it, takes a few steps in, makes the catch. Wax tags from second. The throw comes into third. Peltier snags it. It's off the line, and Hamilton races into second base. Both runners advance 90 feet, and a fly out to center field puts 2 into scoring position for the Gatemen in the top of the third.
So that's the equivalent of the sacrifice bunt, basically, right there. Just a fly ball into center field. Wax is a speedy guy. Helps him get over to third. Hamilton with a nice job reading the throw, getting over to second, and a prime opportunity here for RBIs for Cohen Nicolai.
Yeah, Cohen Nicolai already with 1 run batted in so far today. Single to score R.J. Hamilton in the first. Now steps in with 2 in scoring position with just 1 out. Right on right, Goodman to the windup. Skied, center field. Kirikoff comes in. Could be deep enough to tag. Wax went halfway down the line, then hit the brakes. The throw brought Sean James into the infield grass, but Kirikoff decides to launch it in, and Wareham respects the throw.
Wax would have been safe. Yep. Unfortunate break there for Wareham. With second and third, still you have a chance here with Foster Apple, but wouldn't be the best thing in the world if you have first and second and can't scratch across a run. That was the ball to do it on, but just a bad read there.
Yeah, they respect the arm from Kirikoff. Now Foster Apple 0 for 1 with the strikeout. So first punch out of the day for Riley Goodman, trying to replicate that outcome. First pitch, misses inside with ball 1. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Wax on third, he singled. Hamilton on second, he walked. Then back-to-back flyouts to center field. The 1-0 pitch. Called a strike. This one a slider at the knees. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the third, Wareham leading 1-0. Trying to tack on some run support for their starter, Peyton Lee. 1-1 out of the windup. Grounded foul left side. Bangs off the netting, and the count 1-2 to Apple. Now with his back against the wall, and a 2-strike count.
Goodman's worked him mostly inside here. Wouldn't be surprised if he tries to go cross-body with the slider here in the pitcher's count.
Apple batting .250 this summer. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Goodman works around a couple of leadoff base runners and retires the side after the strikeout on Foster Apple. His 5th punch-out of the game. 1 hit, no runs, no errors in the field, 2 runners left on base. It's Wareham 1, Harwich nothing on Cape League TV.
Get your merch at the Wareham Gatemen website and click shop to view our latest merch drops. The 2026 Gatemen Kids Clinic registration is live and open. Starting next week, kids will have the chance to be taught by Gatemen coaches and players. For more information, visit the Wareham Gatemen website for dates, times, prices, and opportunities for your kids to have the most memorable week of their summer.
Bottom of the 3rd, Gatemen leading 1-0. 8-9-1 due up for the Mariners. Sean James, Micah Kirikoff, and back to the top of the order, it's Colin Larson. Righty, lefty against the starter Peyton Lee, who gave up a 2-out double to Cade Curlin, but induced a soft ground out to end the inning in the 2nd. He's been very good, Dan, in a much-needed response after a sluggish first start of the summer.
Certainly has, and it's unfortunate that Wareham couldn't bring home another run to give him a little bit more support in that top half of the 3rd. Had runners at 1st and 2nd with nobody out, but bottom of the order here, you're going to face the leadoff man Larson one more time. Really a chance here to lock in and get a quick 3 outs.
Tries to do that. His first pitch to Sean James misses up and in. Right at the letters. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count's 1-0. James, the junior from Mississippi State, doing the catching. 1-0. Misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes. James catching the starter Peyton Lee, who's certainly starting to find a rhythm. Stranded 2 into scoring position. Dealt his 5th strikeout to escape the jam. 2-0. Grounded to short. On a couple of hops to Giorgio. Gloves goes to first in time.
Just what you want to start off the inning if you're Peyton Lee. Weak contact to Giorgio all over it. An easy play for the first out.
Brings up the 9th hitting Micah Kirikoff. Mariners trailing 1-0 after Wareham struck in the top of the 1st. So far, the only hitter to record a knock against the starter Lee was Cade Curlin in the 2nd. From the windup, Lee's first pitch, called a strike. This time goes with the slider. Paints the inner 3rd, 0-1. Bases clear, Wareham leading 1-0. Bottom of the 3rd. Right on right, Lee kicks, misses inside. Goes back to the slider. This one goes inside a little too much, and the count's 1-1. Trying to make Kirikoff uncomfortable there on that inside corner. 1-1. This one well high. Sails past the mid of Nikolai. Count 2-1.
And then, Adam, this is the first game since the opener for Wareham where they have not let up a run in the first 2 innings of play. And a chance for Peyton Lee really to make a statement out there as a starter today.
2-1, grounded up the middle. DeGiorgio gets a glove on it, but it trickles into center field. It was a tough play. That should go down as a 1-out infield single for the 9th hitting Micah Kirikoff.
Certainly was a hard play. DeGiorgio playing probably 10 steps off the left side of second base. The ball was hit to the right side of second base. He had to go cross-body with it. It was out of the reach of the second baseman, Hamilton. Skips off his glove into center field, and a one-out base runner here for Peyton Lee to work around.
Now Lee embarks on this Harwich lineup, second time through the order. Colin Larson, the leadoff man, flew out to center field his first time up. One out, runner on first. Pitch is foul-tipped in and out of the mid of Nikolai, 0-1. Larson, the junior from Boston College, batting .292 this summer, hitting from the left-handed batter's box. One of just two lefties in the Mariners' order, who are trying to bounce back after starting the season 5-1. Back-to-back losses. One to Wareham, one to YD. Had the day off yesterday after being rained out. The 0-1 pitch, runner on the move. Pitch outside, throw down, is in time. Cohen Nikolai erases the threat on the base path, and Micah Kirikoff is caught stealing for the first time this summer. There's now two down in the bottom of the third.
Great throw by Cohen Nikolai. Throw beats Kirikoff to the bag. He tried to swim it, pull the left hand back and get around it with the right, but just a nice tag over there at second base, and the defense helping out Peyton Lee.
Yeah, Lee's back to the windup now in a 1-1 count. Bottom third, called a strike. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Now Lee with no threat on the base paths. 1-2 the count. Shakes off one side. Now nods. Kicks, delivers. Misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the 8th time this summer that the Mariners have been caught stealing. Second most in the Cape League. It's an aggressive Harwich team. This manufactured a league best nearly 6.5 runs per game. The 2-2. Spikes in the dirt. Non-competitive pitch at 2-2, and now the count runs full.
And Nikolai goes out to talk with Lee. They were not on the same page on that one. It bumped hard against the chest protector of Nikolai. The two talk it over, bump gloves, and a big pitch coming here with the full count.
Bases are clear. Full count, 2 gone, bottom of the third. Gatemen leading 1-0. Wareham team that's lost 2 in a row. Last win came against Harwich. 3-2, Larson chokes up. The pitch is grounded foul. Comes right to us. Bounces off the chain link fence. We're diamond side. Slanted down the first baseline. Here at White House Field on a beautiful night. Lights are on, sun starting to set. 3-2 the count. Lee kicks and fires. Just misses outside. Lee liked the spot. Doesn't get the call from our home plate umpire, Jeffrey Merzel. And another 2-out base runner for the Mariners in the bottom of the third.
This feels exactly like the bottom half of the second, where you let up a leadoff walk. The defense helps you clear the bases, put 2 outs on the board, and then the 2-out single from Cade Curlin, which Lee worked around. He forced a ground out over to second base right after, so same mentality here with 2 outs on the board.
J.P. Peltier, 0 for 1 today, struck out in the first. Digs in, and instead Lee checks on first, and Larson, close play, but back safely. Be a quick maneuver, trying to toss 3 scoreless innings. It's a Wareham pitching staff that ranks second to last in ERA, and another check on first. And back safely, Larson. Head first dive, still yet to deal the first pitch to J.P. Peltier. Larson has swiped 7 bags this summer. He's been caught stealing once. Lee back to first. Once again, Larson back safely. So Lee has checked on first 3 times and has not pitched to Peyton Lee. Has not pitched to J.P. Peltier, rather.
Pitched to himself.
Yeah.
It's been back and forth between Lyra and him.
Runner on the move, the pitch high, and Nikolai loses it on the transfer. And instead it runs inside, hits Peltier right on the hands. So another base runner Lee continued to work over to first, finally dealt the first pitch. Larson went on the move, and he lost it. 2 outs, 2 base runners now for the Mariners in the bottom of the third.
And this is kind of where it went wrong against YD for Peyton Lee when he started issuing a lot of free passes. Has to work out of this jam here against an extremely talented hitter in Ty Smolinski.
A super tough out. The shortstop from Kansas State. 2 on, 2 out. Right on left. Smolinski batting .393. Lee looks back at second twice, now goes home. First pitch is chopped foul. No balls, 1 strike. Smolinski already with 7 RBIs. Drove 2 in against Wareham back on Sunday. And a 3-hit effort. 0-1. Lee sets, turns off, goes back to second with it, and Larson back easily. Colin Larson certainly playing a factor in Lee's approach.
It's kind of been in his head the entire time since he got on base. Pickoff attempt 3 times at first before the hit by pitch as well.
And a 0-1 count on Smolinski. Runners on the move. The pitch swung on and missed. Nikolai goes to third. The throw high, sails into left field. Larson takes off from home. Apple comes up throwing. It goes all the way to the plate, and the run comes in to score. Harwich ties us up at 1 apiece in the bottom of the third. An 0-2 count on Smolinski, but the Mariners do their job, wreak havoc on the base paths.
And just a throw that maybe Cohen Nikolai doesn't have to make there. You're in an 0-2 count, 2 outs on the board. Wareham scored its first run of the game due to errors on the Harwich end, and now Harwich takes advantage of Wareham's mistake and ties the ball game up at 1.
Yeah, still another run just 90 feet away. The 0-2. Grounded right side. Lyra gloves, flips to first to a covering Lee, and the side is retired. So Cohen Nikolai catches 1 base runner stealing, but an error on the throw scores a run for the Mariners. We are through 3 at White House Field, and Harwich is on the board. We're tied at 1. When we return, it's 7-8-9, due up for the Gatemen on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
3 innings down, 6 to go here at White House Field in a 1-1 ball game between the Harwich Mariners and the Wareham Gatemen. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky as we get ready for the top half of the 4th. It'll be 6, 7, 8 due up for the Gatemen. It starts with the DH Braden Kersey still going against the starter in this game for the Mariners, Riley Goodman. Toes the slab, glove to the chest, winds and fires. First pitch of this inning misses outside for ball 1. Harwich tying the game up in the bottom half of the 3rd. That was a throwing error on the catcher, Cohen Nikolai. Threw the ball over third base, and then the runner stealing third coming home to score. That was the leadoff man for Harwich, Colin Larson. The 1-0 cut on and missed for strike one. Kersey still trying to find his footing. 0 for 8 to start off this season at the plate for Wareham, and a strikeout looking to start off his day in the first.
And Kersey's been good on the mound, the two-way out of Mercer. Just hasn't quite found the groove.
1-1, clips the inside part, 1 ball, 2 strikes against Kersey. And you mention it, he's someone that was a first-team All-SoCon selection as the designated hitter with Mercer. Hit .325 with 21 bombs as the everyday DH. 1-2, cut on and missed for strike 3. Goodman starts the top half of the fourth, just how he ended the third, with a strikeout, and there's 1 down.
And Braden Kersey is really struggling for the Gatemen. 0 for 9, 7 strikeouts. First one he went down looking, stranded a runner. This time starts things in the fourth. Waves and misses. And they're not bad pitches from Riley Goodman, but they're pitches that Braden Kersey has seen and typically hits, just in a slump right now.
The right fielder, Dylan Dubovic, at the plate. First pitch to him. Misses on the outside part. 4-ball win. Dubovic grounded out over to shortstop back in the second inning. That led things off in what was a 1-2-3 inning for Riley Goodman. Punched out the final 2 hitters in that second. The 1-0. Bounced in the dirt. Skips past the catcher, James. And the count goes to 2-0. Dubovic, one of 6 Miami Hurricanes playing in the Cape Cod Baseball League this summer. 2 of them on Brewster, 2 on Falmouth, 1 on Bourne. No Hurricanes on the opposing Harwich Mariners. Goodman comes set. Here's the 2-0. Piped out into deep left field. Bussey going back on it. That ball skips off the wall. Dubovic already hits first. He's on to second. He will stop there. It is a 1-out stand-up double for Dylan Dubovic, and the Gatemen have a runner into scoring position.
Dubovic has really impressed me so far this summer. His second double of the summer. And he was one that, while a majority of the lineup struggled early in the season, he produced. But even when he doesn't produce, it doesn't seem like he lets those poor at-bats start to spiral. Feels like everyone is a separate entity, and he's done a nice job that time. Gets all of it. Drives it off the left field wall.
So now an RBI opportunity for the third baseman, Caleb Barnett, batting from the right side. Dubovic gets the lead off of second. The first pitch is in there. 4-1. This Barnett's first game for the Gatemen. Struck out in his first plate appearance. That was in that 1-2-3 second for Riley Goodman. Here's the 0-1. Dubovic off to third. There will be no throw down. So Dubovic takes a free 90 feet. And now the go-ahead run in this game stands at third with 1 down.
And Caleb Barnett is 6'6" in the right-handed batter's box. So Sean James almost certainly had his view at least altered, or the path to throw down to third.
The lane was definitely blocked right there. Harwich brings the infield in, trying to prevent the run from scoring. No ball, 2-strike count with 1 down. Here's the pitch. A big cut and a miss and a huge strikeout for Riley Goodman. Second time Caleb Barnett's been sat down tonight, and it's the second strikeout of the inning for Riley Goodman. 2 down.
Showing some serious swing and miss stuff off the mound. And it's something that the Gatemen have definitely struggled with, but Goodman doing a really good job of mixing in that fastball and slider. To right-handed hitters, I mean, that's pretty much exclusively what it is. More than 90% of the time, it's fastball or a slider. I'm mixing them very well right now.
Left-hitting shortstop Henry DeGiorgio at the plate. Takes a first pitch fastball straight down the pipe at 95 miles an hour. Dubovic still over at third base. He had a double with 1 down in this inning before Barnett just struck out. Goodman set at the belt. Now fires. Pitch is cut over to the third base side, right on the Harwich dugout. Hit off the fence as some of the players over there brace for impact. And once again, an 0-2 count, back-to-back for Riley Goodman as he looks for 3 outs with 3 strikeouts here in the top half of the 4th. Steps off for a second. Now is ready to go. Takes a deep breath and delivers home, high and away for ball 1 in this count.
If you're DeGiorgio, what a chance here to get your first hit of the summer. Bring in a run, give Wareham the lead once again.
Went 0 for 1 with a walk yesterday against Orleans in his Gatemen debut. Trying to make an impact here in a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Does just that. Shoots a ball into right field. A diving play from Larson. The ball drops off his glove. Coming in to score is Dubovic. Over to second on the play is DeGiorgio. And Henry DeGiorgio delivers for Wareham. They're up 2-1.
Great piece of hitting and a 2-strike count. Pulls it over the second baseman's head and Cade Curlin. It was going to be a super tough play for Colin Larson. That should go down as a hit. I would be very surprised if they give that a fielding error. It was a diving effort. I guess it's one of those that you could say he got the glove on it, but I think that should absolutely be an RBI, at least single for DeGiorgio.
Goes down as an RBI double for Henry DeGiorgio. That's his first hit with the Gatemen, first RBI. Now the leadoff man, Jason Wax, grounds the ball over to shortstop. Smolinski throws to first in time, but not before Wareham scratches across the go-ahead run in this ball game on a 2-out RBI double from Henry DeGiorgio. So Wareham leads things 2-1 after 3.5 innings here at White House Field. Our sideline reporter, CeCe Gabriel, will have you on the other side to open up things in the bottom half of the 4th here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy! Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Welcome back to Cape League TV. It's CeCe Gabriel, and at White House Field, it is 2-1 Wareham at the bottom of the 4th. And out at third base, it's Caleb Barnett, the fresh sophomore coming into the Wareham Gatemen just a couple of days ago. Now, Barnett just came from Alabama from the College World Series, the first appearance for this team since in 27 years, and when you think about where he comes from, you think Alabama actually, but no, he comes from Oxford, England. His father had his PhD there, so that's why he was born there. And he may not have a PhD, but he's pretty good at baseball. We'll see him out at third base today for the rest of the game. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, CeCe. Certainly will. Barnett 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, so certainly looking to bounce back. But here in the bottom half of the 4th, still Peyton Lee against 4-5-6 for the Mariners, starting off against Quentin Coates. Deals a first pitch slider at 84 miles an hour on the outside part of the plate for ball 1.
Don't be afraid of Quentin Coates right here. Just hitting .231 this summer, but Lee pitched around him earlier.
1-0, skied into foul territory on the first base side. Lira is over, and he cannot make the play, or he does make the play. It was originally not called by home plate umpire Jeffrey Merzel. But after some discussions over there on the first base side, Mickey Hoppert, our first base umpire, had the best look. A nice play by Lira in foul ground for the first out.
Yeah, that was tough from our viewpoint, Dan. And it continued to hook towards the fence, and I thought that one would be out of play, but a nice job by Lira.
The 5-hole hitter, Kevin Maluski at the plate. And the foul territory here at White House Field is an abundance of territory, probably around 30 feet back to home plate as the 1-0 is in there for strike one. And then on both sides, Lots of foul ground. Similar to Spillane Field, but probably still more. Think old Oakland Coliseum for avid MLB fans, as the 1-1 is cut on and missed for strike 2. And the dimensions, 330 down the left and right field lines with 400 to dead center. Lee ready. Wines fires. Just misses with an 87-mile-per-hour slider, top of the zone. We'll do it again at 2-2.
Yeah, got Maluski to roll over on one after surrendering a leadoff free pass in the second inning. Still in his first game this summer.
Here's the 2-2. Misses outside. Count goes full.
Gotta like the spot if you're Peyton Lee.
That was just Lee's 50th pitch of the game right there. That was a good spot. Missed in the top corner. We'll try and go back to it here. The payoff misses in the dirt. And it's a one-out walk worked by Kevin Maluski. And now a chance for Cade Curlin, the second baseman, who had a double back in the second to make an impact.
Yeah, not that there's ever a guy that you want to surrender a walk to, but Kevin Maluski's not the guy right now. With Cade Curlin following him, really got a hold of one in the second inning, a 2-out double. But you still can't be afraid. If you're Peyton Lee, you're pitching with a lead, something that a lot of Gatemen pitchers can't say they've done.
Smoked the ball into the right center field gap for that extra base hit last time. Lee ready for the first pitch to Curlin. Catches part of the plate. 95-mile-per-hour fastball for strike 1. Curlin, a guy that's been solid so far for the Mariners, at .279 batting average this season. And looking to deliver here for Harwich, trailing 2-1. Chops on the 0-1, fouls it back behind home plate. The count goes to 0-2.
Couple of pitches here. And usually if you're Peyton Lee, who's getting deep into the start, something that the Gatemen haven't had a ton of this season, this is the time where I think you don't want to be uber efficient. Maybe try and get him swinging, get him to chase on a slider.
0-2 offering. Rolled over to the third base side. Barnett throws to second for one. Hamilton doesn't have a play over at first. He'll hold. So Wareham cuts down the lead runner. There's 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th.
All things considered, not a bad play defensively from Wareham. Caleb Barnett made sure to collect himself after it was a hard-hit ground ball, but still, you don't want to sail it into right field. You don't want to rush the throw. Don't want to rush Gateman trying to turn 2. Instead, collects it, goes to second, gets the lead runner. Now 2 out and just 1 runner on the bases.
Brings Charlie Bussey, the left fielder, into the plate, standing in the righty batter's box. Lee ready and deals. First pitch missing down low for ball 1. Bussey grounded out over to second base when Curlin was standing on second after his 2-out double back in the second inning. Harwich scoring its only run of the game last inning on a throwing error from Cohen to Cly. One on is cut on and missed. Counts 1-1, was tipped into the mitt of Nikolai. Back-to-back fastballs to start off this at-bat for Peyton Lee against Charlie Bussey. Lee has been magnificent tonight. 3 2/3 so far. 1 strikeout, no earned runs. Has given up just 2 hits. Gives a check over on first base. Looking at Curlin, keeping him close by. Played in just his first game with Harwich against YD on Sunday. Went 1 for 4 in that one, as the 1-1 pitch misses. 2-1 to Bussey, a guy who's played in 7 contests so far for Harwich. And in that, batting .238 with 3 RBIs. Looking to up that number here in the bottom half of the 4th. The 2-1 pitch outside. Peyton Lee finds himself down 3 balls, 1 strike to Bussey. Has to deliver something quality here. Bussey, a big guy, 6'2", 200. Not afraid to let it swing. 3-1, misses inside. Second walk of the inning issued by Peyton Lee. Bumps a runner into scoring position, and there's 2 on here with 2 down for the catcher, Sean James.
Got to attack Sean James. 0 for 5 this summer. Got the first start of the summer against Wareham back on Sunday. He was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Today 0 for 1 with 1 in scoring position. It's not necessarily a speedy Maluski, but a single with 2 outs can absolutely score him, and that is why there will be a mound visit for the Gatemen.
Eric Luskus, the pitching coach, out of the dugout on the first base side to talk things over with Peyton Lee. There is an arm starting to warm up out there in the Wareham bullpen. You can hear the smack of the glove in the right field bullpen area, but still unsure on who it's going to be yet. And obviously Lee hoping to finish out 4 innings of just 1-run ball. Long conversation there on the mound. Home plate umpire Jeffrey Merzel onto the bump to end it. Curlin standing at second with Bussey at first, and Merzel is still out there right now on the mound. It was a long talk. Eric Luskus and Merzel both leave with smiles on their face as they drop back to their respective positions. And a big at-bat coming here against Sean James. The catcher still looking for his first hit of the season, like you mentioned, Adam.
And if you're Peyton Lee, you don't want to fall into the trap that you fell into against YD. Pound the zone, do what's worked. Still yet to allow an earned run. Attack.
First pitch is attacked by James. Sends the ball into deep right field. Dubovic on it, makes the running play for out number 3. So Lee does a beautiful job of working around some traffic here in the bottom half of the 4th, and he still has not given up an earned run. No runs, no hits, 2 left on here for Harwich in the bottom half of the 4th. We head to the 5th, 2-1 Wareham on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repairs specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit Reed Custom Soils.
4 innings down. Top half of the 5th here at White House Field with the Gatemen leading the Mariners 2-1. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. 2-3-4 for the Gatemen, starting with R.J. Hamilton. Here in the 5th, still going against the starter for Harwich, Riley Goodman. It's been a successful day at the plate so far for R.J. Hamilton. A single back in the first inning, came around to score, and then had a walk in the 3rd. Made it over to second base before the inning ended with 3 straight outs from Riley Goodman. First pitch from him misses inside, 94-mile-per-hour fastball, 1-0. Wareham scoring a run last inning. That came off a 1-out double from Dylan Dubovic, and then Henry DeGiorgio, the 9-hole hitter, knocked him in. Hamilton skies one into shallow right field. Moving in to make the play is Larson. And there's 1 down here in the top half of the 5th.
Not the best at-bat that R.J. Hamilton has put together over the last couple of games, but for Wareham, you at least have to appreciate the baseball that they're playing right now. A couple of nice fielding plays defensively. Offense has produced some early runs and getting a good start from Peyton Lee.
Tony Lira at the plate now, the first baseman in the right-handed batter's box. Goodman kicks, fires, finds the zone with a first pitch slider. Lira, one of the guys for Wareham who has played in every single game so far this year. That at 9. As the 0-1 misses the top half of the zone for ball 1. Lira and Foster Apple, the only two that have played in every single contest so far this year. 1-1. Popped up, right field. Larson with a beat. And he's got it. Back-to-back outs to the Harwich right fielder to start off things here in the 5th, and there's 2 down.
Tony Lira batting third today. He's 0 for 3. Hasn't gotten great swings on the ball. It's a lot of getting underneath it. When you look at the bat path that he's taking, it certainly feels a little bit different than the one that we saw early on this summer.
And it'll be Cohen Nicolai, the catcher now. First pitch way inside, ball 1. Nicolai, someone that has really liked playing against Harwich. 6 RBIs in just 2 games. 5 in the first matchup and 1 here tonight. Cuts on the 1-0, grounds it right behind the plate. Foul, 1-1.
In Cohen Nicolai, that RBI single in this game, both of these 2 plays, the RBI single in the first and the grand slam. Everyone knows that the grand slam to walk it off is a big hit, but what he's done for a Wareham offense that was really struggling, you look at guys like Jason Wax and Drew Rogers, even R.J. Hamilton, who were really struggling. Since then, it feels like that game has loosened them up, and they're certainly putting together some much better at-bats, even if they don't always result in hits. But for a majority of them, they have started to turn into hits.
1 ball, 1 strike. Goodman releases, bounces it about 5 feet in front of the plate for ball 2.
Yeah, and then today, the RBI single to score first, to give that run support for Peyton Lee, who's putting together one of the better starts that we've seen this summer for Wareham. I don't think it's a coincidence that it comes the first time the Gatemen score in the first inning.
2-1, cut on and missed. Count goes to 2-2, and Goodman looking for a 1-2-3 top half of the 5th after allowing an earned run just an inning ago. Goodman rests the tan glove against his chest. Now goes into the full windup. His pitch just misses on the outside part of the plate. The count goes full with 2 down here to Cohen Nicolai. A guy who did not play yesterday. Last played against Falmouth on Sunday ahead of the off day and went 0 for 4. Has already made an impact with an RBI single tonight. Here's the payoff pitch. Bounced in the dirt, not competitive. So Nicolai works the 2-out base on balls, and there's a runner at first.
Great job from Cohen Nicolai. Goodman has been very good at pounding the zone today and making Wareham hitters do the damage themselves and not just working it around the base path. It's just because of errant pitches from the starter. Just the second walk of the day. But Wareham driving that pitch count up, already 75 pitches.
Foster Apple at the plate, the left fielder, with 2 strikeouts tonight against Goodman. First pitch is smoked over to the third baseman, Peltier, who gloves it. Just a straight line drive. Peltier was in the right spot at the right time at the hot corner, and that's how things end here in the top half of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base at the end of 4.5 here at White House Field. It's the Wareham Gatemen 2, Harwich Mariners 1 here on Cape League TV.
Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting finance.
Bottom half of the fifth here at White House Field. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky, the Gatemen leading the Mariners 2-1. Alyssa Watling, intuitive, called to the bullpen. Peyton Lee is out of this game after 4 innings of 2 hit, 1 run ball, 4 walks, and 1 strikeout, no earned. And Jordan Stevens is on to the bump here in his first appearance for the Gatemen.
6'4", 210 righty, rising junior from Georgia. The Bulldogs played host to an NCAA regional as the 7th overall seed. A 4-0 record, a 3.92 ERA across 20 and 2/3 innings of work. An opponent batting average of just 164, Dan. Did not allow a run in his first 6 appearances of his sophomore season. Trying to start his first appearance of the summer with the Gatemen with a scoreless frame.
Peyton Lee leaves the game as the only pitcher since Garrett Lambert to start off the season to not give up an earned run. So a really strong performance for him, and hands a 1-run lead off to Jordan Stevens. He faces the 9-hole hitter Micah Kirikoff to start things here in the bottom half of the 5th. Fouls the first pitch back to the screen for strike 1.
Flashes 99 on the first pitch of the summer for Jordan Stevens. Certainly a step up in velocity. The fastball sat in the mid-90s for Peyton Lee. First pitch 99 for Stevens.
Impressive stuff. The 0-1. Misses for ball 1, but another 99-mile-per-hour fastball. This is a guy that did pitch with Wareham last season, 12 1/3 with the Gatemen. That over 5 games for a 7.3 ERA. Looking for some more extended time with the Gatemen this summer. 1 ball, 1 strike count. It's once again the fastball down low. It misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. All 3 pitches have been at 99 miles per hour to start things here for Stevens.
Stevens just activated yesterday, did not throw in the rain-shortened game against Orleans, making his first appearance of the summer just 2 days after being activated.
2-1 against Kirikoff, who singled back in the 3rd. It misses down low, and it's been straight fastball for Stevens to start things off. 4 pitches, 3 balls, 1 strike against Kirikoff. Kirikoff made it over to first in the 3rd and then was caught stealing by Cohen to Cly. 3-1 offering. Misses down low. It's a 5-pitch walk to start things here in the 5th for Jordan Stevens.
Yeah, consistently throwing 99 is very good, and it will keep Harwich hitters off balance. But you still have to throw strikes. And it's a Harwich lineup that's totaled just 2 hits in the first 4 innings against the starter Peyton Lee, who did a really nice job after not locating the zone much in his first start. Bounced back in a big way today.
So in 17 games for Stevens with Georgia this past season, his ERA was much better against the lefties than it was against the righties, a 3.38 compared to 11.32. And he's going against a lefty in Colin Larson here at the top of the order. Deals a first pitch strike. Certainly looking to use that to his advantage. Kirikov is at first, a guy that does like to steal bags. 3 on the season, but like I mentioned before, was already caught in this game. And it'll be interesting to see if he goes, especially against a hard thrower like Stevens, who blows the fastball by Larson to go up no balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, we've only seen 10 games. We haven't seen every team, every pitcher, but Jordan Stevens throwing 98, 99 is certainly the hardest throwing pitcher we've seen so far this summer.
By far. He has not thrown an off-speed pitch yet. It's been all fastballs, 7 tosses in. Here's the 0-2. On the move is Kirikov, and Larson just fights the pitch away. That time, it was the off-speed, 86 miles per hour. Count stays at 0-2.
Yeah, tries the change up, and Larson saw it in the zone. And it wasn't a great swing, but it was one that he was really just trying to stay alive in a 2-strike count. Uncomfortable, but at least getting wood on ball and staying alive in a 2-strike count. Was sitting fastball, and you see why. You just said all 7 of Jordan Stevens' first 7 pitches were the 4-seamer.
Here's the 0-2 once again. Kirikov going, a swing and a miss. Strike 3, throw down to second is not in time. So a strikeout for Colin Larson puts 1 out on the board, but Kirikov moves into scoring position on the pitch.
And it wasn't a super reactionary throw from Cohen Nicolai. He caught it, got out of the crouch, and it felt like as he started to throw, it was like he was just tossing back to the pitcher, Jordan Stevens, and then at the last second launched it to second base. It wasn't a very competitive throw down across the infield.
So Kirikov at second represents the tying run in this game, and Stevens having to work against the third baseman, J.P. Peltier. Deals a first pitch strike with the breaker. That one comes in at 83 miles an hour. Peltier was hit by the pitch in the third, struck out back in the first inning as the second hitter to the plate for Harwich.
Really loves that slider, tosses the sinker and the changeup in there as well. We've seen he likes the fastball right now.
Here's the 0-1. Cut on and missed for strike 2. That time it was the slider. That time it came in at 89.
This is absolutely a step up in velocity for Harwich. And as opposed to the at-bat with Kirikov and Larson, he's starting to mix in his secondary pitches, not letting anyone just sit on the fastball.
Stevens deals. Ball is smacked over to second. Hamilton struggles with it for a second. Now throws to first. It's in time. Going over to third on the play is Kirikov. So with 2 outs, the tying run stands at third with the very powerful hitting Ty Smolinski coming to the plate.
Great job by R.J. Hamilton, though. A part of your pitcher throwing 98, 99 miles an hour is when it comes off the bat, it might come off a little bit harder. That time he smothered it, knocked it down, a sharply hit ground ball from Peltier, kept it in front of him, got the glove down, made the play. Now 2 down. Stevens, it's a tough out to get with Smolinski, but Peyton Lee did a nice job keeping him off balance.
So righty against lefty. Smolinski at the plate. First pitch to him is in the dirt for ball 1. Stevens was on that Georgia Bulldogs team that made it out there to Omaha. That's why it took him a little bit longer to get here after making the College World Series with Georgia. He's the only UGA player on this Wareham roster as of right now and doing a good job so far. The 1-0 misses down in the dirt for ball 2.
And you really don't want to lose this battle, but you also don't want to give Smolinski a pitch that he can square up on. 7 runs driven in with 2 outs. You have Quentin Coates up next, who has yet to record a hit.
2-0 pitch, runs inside, nearly clips Smolinski. He's 0 for 2 today, but coming into this game, a .393 hitter. Led Harwich in average with 11 base knocks on 28 trips to the plate. Finds himself in a 3-0 count against Stevens. Winds and fires. Misses down low, a 4-pitch walk, and non-competitive at-bat there to Ty Smolinski. Doesn't really like Stevens wanted to pitch to him there.
And it felt similar to the Micah Kirikov one, but your leadoff number 9 hitter, I think that's one you definitely want to get the out. Smolinski, it makes sense, first and second base open, but now you have to go at Quentin Coates. If he beats you, he beats you. But you've gone past the heart of the Mariners' order. And in a game where it feels like runs are going to be at a premium, this isn't the guy that you want to pitch around to and surrender a 4 or 5 pitch walk.
Eric Luskis, the pitching coach, out of the dugout on the first base side for Wareham to talk things over with Jordan Stevens. The entire infield meets the pitching coach on the mound. And Stevens, a guy that has hit 100 miles per hour plenty of times, was on D1 Baseball's heat sheet for hard throwers coming into this year. And really a guy that just loves to pound the zone with his fastball. He set Georgia's record for the fastest pitch in March, clipping triple digits.
Yeah, he's certainly brought that velocity. It's a Wareham pitching staff that's trying to figure some things out, but they don't necessarily have a guy that can consistently throw 99. I think Colton Sampson will be another high-velocity guy. Pitched yesterday against Orleans, but Stevens gives the Gatemen an absolute weapon out of the pen.
So right on right here against the first baseman, Quentin Coates. First pitch, popped up on the first base side. Tails out of play.
That pitch right there is huge. With runners in scoring position this past spring at Georgia, he threw a first pitch strike just 43% of the time. Getting ahead 0-1 is very crucial with a runner on the corner.
Stevens comes home, misses in the dirt. That's been the spot where he has missed so far when he goes to the off speed, tries to get the chase.
Yeah.
And Cohen Nicolai's had to smother it a couple times.
I think that was definitely mentioned in the mound visit. You would think it'd have to be. It's been a lot of identical misses.
1-1. Fastball, middle of the zone for strike 2. A nice job just going back to his bread and butter. That one at 97, and now just a pitch away from getting out of this jam.
Yeah, but continue to try and paint the edges.
Runners at the corners. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th. Stevens set to deliver the 1-2. Fires. Off speed, chopped over to the third baseman, Barnett, and he has trouble with the ball. Coming in to score is Kirikov, and that is now 2 runs on 2 errors in this game for Harwich, and we're tied up here at White House Field.
Caleb Barnett is 6'6", very lanky frame over there at third base, and then when he had to get all the way down, tried to glove it on the move, but when he went down to reach for it, didn't quite get the glove down far enough to bring it in. That's another error for Gateman defense.
On the play, Smolinski moves up to second and Coates at first. So still things to deal with, and now Stevens hurting himself with a balk. Both runners move up, so second and third now with 2 outs against Maluski.
And that leadoff walk to Kirikov is coming back to prove very costly. 5 pitches, none were super close to the 9th hitting center fielder that's batting under 200.
First pitch to Maluski, bounces out of the glove of Nikolai. Smolinski thought about it for a second, holds at third, 1-0.
I think Nikolai did a nice job of kind of deking out Smolinski at third because you couldn't even really tell that the ball had skipped off the glove of Nikolai until he was already out of his crouch. So he kind of just stayed there, and then when he went to get it, got there quickly, and Smolinski wasn't too far off the base.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Misses on the outside part with the fastball. Count goes to 2-0. Cade Curlin, the second baseman, waits on deck, has a double in this game if it is to get to him here in the bottom half of the 5th, but Harwich pushing to take the lead. They've already got 1 run across. Stevens comes home. Pitch is fouled off on the first base side, out of play. The count goes to 2-1. Still with Coates at second, Smolinski at third. The tying run in this game scoring on an error from Caleb Barnett in his first game for the Gatemen over at third base. Here's the 2-1. Bottom of the zone fastball, that's called a strike at 97 miles per hour. So the count goes to 2-2.
And I like what Stevens has done on the mound, but it's just taking a long time to retire hitters. Already 24 pitches in his debut first inning.
2 on, 2 down. And a 2-2 count here in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch is cut on and missed for strike 3. Stevens gets Maluski swinging for out number 3 here in the bottom half of the 5th, but it doesn't come without some damage. 1 run scored for Harwich. That ties the game at 2. That unearned. No hits, 1 error, and 2 left on here in the bottom half of the 5th. So after 5 complete innings, we're tied at 2 at White House Field, heading to the 6th here on Cape League TV.
Child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Top half of the 6th here at White House Field in a 2-2 ball game between the Gatemen and the Mariners. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive call to the bullpen. Here for Harwich in the top half of the 6th. The game goes from the starter, Riley Goodman, to the reliever, Ben Ackelson.
6'2", 200-pound rising senior from Fairfield, a guy that made
It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive call to the bullpen. Here for Harwich in the top half of the 6th. The game goes from the starter, Riley Goodman, to the reliever, Ben Ackelson.
6'2", 200-pound rising senior from Fairfield, a guy that made 15 starts for Fairfield in
Call Abbey Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Bottom half of the 6th at White House Field here in Harwich. A 2-2 ball game between the Mariners and the Gatemen. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. Alyssa Watling intuitive call to the bullpen. Jordan Stevens is out of the game after just 1 inning of work where he gave up an unearned run. Ethan Bioto into the game, and Adam, he's undoubtedly been the best reliever for Wareham this season.
first appearance this summer against a team not named Hyannis. 6'3" righty out of Tennessee has been great.
Deals the first pitch to Cade Curlin. Smokes it out of play on the first base side, and you mentioned it. In those 2 outings against Hyannis, the only team he's pitched against, 6 innings overall, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts in each outing, with 5 hits given up overall. He's been stellar and trying to provide some length The 0-1 catches the zone. 4-2. Ryan Smythe going all in to win this one today, and it makes perfect sense. The off day tomorrow, use your high leverage arms to try and get a W here in Harwich.
Yeah, first time pitching in 5 days for Bioto, but 3 innings give you some encouragement.
The 0-2 is shot out of play from Curlin, who doubled back in the second and then reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth. Harwich scoring both runs in this game on errors in the third and the fifth. This ball, though, is popped up over to shortstop, and DiGiorgio has it for the first out. A nice job by Bioto here to start off the bottom of the sixth.
Yeah, 4 pitches, 4 strikes. Guy that pounds the zone, has made hitters earn it. He throws the sinker more than the fastball. Throws that sinker nearly 70% of the time. His next most frequent pitch, a slider, a quarter of the time. And then a fastball and a changeup that combine that he throws for just 10%. So it's a guy that keeps hitters off balance with that sinker. It's like a fastball velocity with some more movement.
Charlie Bussey at the plate grounds the first pitch from Bioto fallow on the third base line. 0-1 count. Bussey walked back in the fourth, grounded out to the second baseman, Hamilton, in the second. Bioto winds, fires, catches the top part of the zone. Ethan Bioto has been on fire since coming into this game. 6 pitches, 6 strikes, and a chance for his first K here against Bussey. Comes set quickly. Fires home and just misses bottom part of the zone. He thought he had it there for a second. The count goes to 1-2.
At that time, a 97-mile-an-hour sinker. So Bioto likes where he's at. And count trying to continue the velocity that Stevens had.
1-2, a weak grounder in front of Bioto. He fields it himself, throws to first. Lira with a nice stretch, and that is out number 2. Bioto working extremely efficiently. 2 down here in the bottom half of the sixth.
Jordan Stevens, not a bad outing by any means. Went just 1 inning, didn't give up a hit, but did surrender 2 walks, bounced back with 2 strikeouts. Didn't really get helped out by his defense, allowed a run. It wasn't earned. But I think you wanted a little bit more length out of Stevens and then potentially Bioto to take you the rest of the way. But Ryan Smythe gets just 1 out of Jordan Stevens.
First pitch to the catcher, Sean James, up and in for ball 1 with the fastball at 94 miles an hour. Bioto now up to 6 2/3 without giving up a run. He has been skillful in his 2 outings. The 1-0, high and away for ball 2. And Bioto still the only pitcher now outside of Jordan Stevens, who made his first appearance tonight, to not give up an earned run this season. Although both of the times he has pitched, it's been in losing efforts, both against Hyannis. 2-0, smacked foul on the third base line. Do it again at 2-1.
And you kind of mentioned it, Dan, with an off day tomorrow. You can use as many arms as you want. But I think it's a little bit more than that for Bioto. It's a guy that's been really good for Wareham, and this game feels like it'll be one with runs at a premium.
Comes home. This pitch is lined down the right field line. It just tails foul. James got some good wood on it, was just a little bit late to the spot. The count goes to 2-2, and Bioto just a pitch away from a 1-2-3 bottom half of the sixth. Wareham with 9-1-2 due up in the seventh. With this game tied at 2, the 2-2 pitch fought off near the first base side from James out of play. Liking what he's seeing, nodding his head after every pitch. Feels comfortable in the spot that he's in against Wareham's best reliever so far this season.
Certainly, and he's thrown 30-plus pitches in each of his first 2 outings where he's gone 3 innings in each.
2-2 in the dirt for ball 3.
In trying to just be a little bit more efficient here. Has gone 2 up, 2 down, but that's now 14 pitches. So if Ryan Smythe wants to get this guy deep into this game, talking 8th, maybe even 9th inning, has to put batters away earlier in counts.
Payoff, cut on and missed for strike three. Bioto shuts the door here in the bottom half of the sixth, works a 1-2-3 inning, and it sends us to the seventh, tied at 2 here from White House Field on Cape League TV.
Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen cleanup on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean.
Less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
9-1-2 due up in the top of the seventh in a tie game 2 apiece between Wareham and Harwich. With Dan Shalam, I'm Adam Hipsky. Henry DeGiorgio, Jason Wax, R.J. Hamilton would be the minimum for Ben Alexson in his second inning of work out of the pen, relieving the starter Riley Goodman, who went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Right on left to the leadoff man in the top of the seventh. Out of the windup, first pitch. Breaking ball tails in the dirt, 1-0. And Dan, one of the later games in the Cape League today, a 6:30 start at White House Field, but one game already wrapped up in the Cape League. YD continues to roll a 9-1 start after an 8-1 victory against Brewster today.
And this is a Harwich team that lost to them 10-3 in their last time out, with the Kettleers leading things 3-2. The fascinating thing about this West Division is that Bourne is at the top with a 3-3-3 record.
Yeah.
3 wins, 3 losses, 3 ties. Wareham's right there in it. They only have 2 wins, and they're right in it.
First pitch to Jason Wax after Henry DeGiorgio flew out is a cold strike. Bottom third, 0-1. For Hyannis, you mentioned it, another team in the West Division with Wareham. They're in action tomorrow. It was supposed to be a league-wide off day, but they will play Harwich. 0-1 outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. A game supposed to be here yesterday, rained out. So 8 teams are off, 2 teams will play, and it's Hyannis and Harwich at 6 o'clock tomorrow, the only game in action across the Cape. 1-1, Alexson into his windup. Misses inside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And it becomes a grueling stretch now for both Harwich and Hyannis.
Yep.
All the teams on Friday embark on 6 games in a row because both of these squads had the day off, or Harwich and Hyannis had the day off yesterday. They will play 8 games in a row before an off day.
No doubt about it. 2-1.
Grueling stretch now for both Harwich and Hyannis.
Yep.
All the teams on Friday embark on 6 games in a row because both of these squads had the day off, or Harwich and Hyannis had the day off yesterday. They will play 8 games in a row before an off day.
No doubt about it. 2-1. The third double of the season for Jason Wax. Gatemen have a runner in scoring position with 1 away in the top of the 7th.
Harwich and Hyannis had the day off yesterday. They will play 8 games in a row before an off day.
No doubt about it. 2-1. The third double of the season for Jason Wax. Gatemen have a runner in scoring position with 1 away in the top of the 7th.
Way to be Jason Wax. Really feels like runs are. It was a powerful foul ball. Needs to do that and just put it in play.
Ball and a strike, 1 away. Top of the 7th. Tied at 2. Pitch. Misses inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. A base hit could score Wax and give the Gatemen the go-ahead run. Both teams have lost back-to-back games. Hamilton 1 for 2 today with a walk. He singled and scored in the first. Opened this game scoring up. As Alexson steps off the mound, turns to second. Bluffs a throw, but forces Wax back to the base.
Wax, a guy that's not afraid to steal a bag either.
2 for 2 on stolen base attempts this summer. 2-1. Alexson turns and fires. Breaking ball, tails beneath the bottom rail. A hitter's advantage. 3 balls, 1 strike to Hamilton. The second baseman hitting second in the lineup today. Ryan Smythe has all the faith in the world in the utility man from Duke. Despite batting 176, stacked atop the order. The 3-1. Hit on the ground, left side. On the backhand, Smolinski smothers. Goes to first on the run, pulls Coates off the bag. Hamilton is safe. Wax stays at second, but Wareham has 2 runners on and still just 1 out in the top of the 7th.
That was a really tough play for Smolinski. He was on the backhand going away from his body, did a nice job of fielding the ground ball, but threw it just a little bit up the line. Interested to see how it scored because that in itself could have been a base hit off the bat of R.J. Hamilton, and we see a mound visit now coming for Harwich as they want to talk things over ahead of Tony Lira, who's been a very consistent bat in the order, coming to the dish. That does go down as an error on Ty Smolinski.
So that is Ty Smolinski's 3rd miscue of the summer, and Ben Alexson's day is done. Wareham turns to its second arm out of the bullpen. We will step aside when we return. It feels like runs are really at a premium.
He's an experienced guy, standing at 6'4", 185, the big righty out there on the bump. Has pitched 1 time already this season. That was in the opener against YD, so he has not pitched in 11 games. But in that one, 3 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, no walks, 4 strikeouts. This past college season was a high-usage guy. 15 appearances, over 88 2/3 for a 4.57 ERA.
Set to face Tony Lira, batting 3rd, the first baseman from Arizona. Jason Wax on second, he doubled. R.J. Hamilton on first, he reached on an error. But today, Lira struggling, 0 for 3. Reached base in the first, but that was off an error from the left fielder, Charlie Bussey. Jason Krieger steps atop the mound. First pitch to Lira, breaking ball, cut on and missed. The count 0-1.
And head coach Ryan Smythe, while Hamilton
was off an error from the left fielder, Charlie Bussey. Jason Krieger steps atop the mound. First pitch to Lira, breaking ball, cut on and missed. The count 0-1.
And head coach Ryan Smythe, while Hamilton, but he was producing in those first 8, went 0 for 2 yesterday and now 0 for 4 in this game. It hasn't really been a lot of competitive at-bats.
But a guy that has been super competitive against Harwich. Cohen Nicolai digs in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch, he swings and misses. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. He's behind 0-1. Nicolai, 9 RBIs this season. 5 have come against the Mariners. 0-1, 2-1. Wax on second, Hamilton on first, and Krieger steps off the mound and fires to second. Wax back standing, and 0-1 count on Nicolai. The catcher, who drove in the game's first run with an RBI single and 1-1, 2-1. Wax on second, Hamilton on first, and Krieger steps off the mound and fires to second. Wax back standing, and 0-1 count on Nicolai. The catcher, who drove in the game's first run with an RBI single in the first inning, scored.
The guy who had the grand slam yesterday in the highest pressure moment possible. A couple days ago.
2 away. Hit in the air, left side, backhanded by Smolinski. He has trouble with it. Everyone's safe. Run goes home. Hamilton slide. He's out, but 1 run comes in. Side is retired. Hamilton tried to catch a sleeping Mariners defense, but not before the Gatemen tack on a run and take the lead. All right, it's time to stretch at White House Field. Wareham has a 3-2 lead on Cape League TV.
Child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights. Be prepared and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Bottom of the 7th at White House Field. Wareham with a 3-2 lead. With Dan Shalam, I'm Adam Hipsky, and it's the 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Mariners. But Dan, Harwich has never led today. Wareham started the scoring. Harwich has answered the call each time around, but the Gatemen have gotten run support from its offense.
See if they can do so here. Ethan Bioto on the bump.
His first pitch is cut on and missed. 95-mile-an-hour cutter, and the count to Kirikov is 0-1.
This is just the guy that you want on the mound in this type of situation. Close game down the stretch, looking to stack zeros.
The 0-1 out of the windup. Grounded foul, left side, off his knee. Count 0-2.
And when the Mariners scored that run in the 5th, it all started with Kirikov. He had a leadoff walk, came around to score to make the game 2-2.
That was against the first arm out of the pen, Jordan Stevens. Now on the second, Ethan Bioto, who kicks and deals. The 0-2 just misses low. Bioto forcing Kirikov to think about it. After his first two pitches were middle. That one, though, right there on the bottom of the zone, you have to like the spot. Certainly probably could have been strike 3. But the following pitch is strike 3. Gets Kirikov to wave and miss. And there's now one away. Second strikeout of the day for Ethan Bioto.
Really nice job. Retires all 4 of the hitters in the bottom part of this Harwich lineup, and now is going to be the real test. Can you do it against the top 3?
It's Colin Larson, the leadoff guy. 0 for 2 today. Harwich, just 2 hits. First pitch, popped foul. 0-1. The Mariners, these 2 runs on 2 hits, neither run have been earned against this Gatemen pitching staff. And you saw it on Sunday. First pitch, popped foul. 0-1. The Mariners, these 2 runs on 2 hits, neither run have been earned against this Gatemen pitching staff. And you saw it on Sunday. Falmouth put up 11 runs, just 2 were earned. The 0-1 is a 4-bagger. Colin Larson's first home run of the summer has tied this game at 3 in the bottom of the 7th.
That was a moonshot off the bat. That ball might not have gone the furthest of ways. It was enough to get out of here, but he got a lot of just air on that one and was able to drive it out to right field. Dubovic didn't have a chance. Everyone in the park knew it was gone off the bat. And the game is tied at 3. Once again, Harwich responds.
Brings up J.P. Peltier. With 1 out, the base is clear. Bioto kicks and fires, and it runs inside, hits Peltier. So back-to-back pitches that Ethan Bioto would certainly like to have back.
No doubt about it. And it's the first time in a Gateman uniform that we've really seen this out of him, where he seemed a little bit uncomfortable. He missed a few spots in that last at-bat against Larson where he eventually hit the home run. But right there, it's just an off-speed pitch that runs in on Peltier. The biggest thing now for Bioto is just to try and limit the damage and get out of this bottom half of the 7th with just one run across.
Tied at 3, bottom of the 7th. Second time today that J.P. Peltier has been hit by a pitch. Brings up Ty Smolinski. Checks a swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. The appeal down to Michael Schmar, and the count 0-1 after the 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Bioto. Smolinski hitless today, but certainly feels like he's due. Hits .393, batting third today for the Mariners. A 0-1 count.
Feet away here from Cohen to Clyde, could score the go-ahead run.
For Bioto, it's a guy that really hasn't had the issue of command in his first 2 appearances, and now a mound visit. So Eric Luskis sees what's happening to one of his top relievers on this Wareham team. It's a 1-ball, no-strike count on Quentin Coates. Tied at 3, bottom of the 7th. Gatemen and Mariners both trying to snap a 2-game losing skid. Wareham with a day off tomorrow. Harwich doesn't have that luxury after getting rained out yesterday. On the bright side for the Mariners, they get the off day and get the extra day to rest up their bullpen against the Gatemen. But Wareham's trying to get to the off day, rest its arms ahead of one of the more grueling stretches you'll see in the Cape League this summer.
That being 6 games in a row starting on Friday, and that'll take us all the way up to July 1st. This already the quarter mark of the Cape League season. Crazy to think about, as it seems like Bioto's day might be done.
A new arm into the game for the Gatemen. So Ethan Bioto's day is indeed finished in the bottom of the 7th with 2 away and a 1-0 count. It's Andrew Koshy to take the hill for the Gatemen. We'll take a quick step aside. When we return, Koshy will deal to Quentin Coates in a 1-0 count with a runner on third.
Child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street, many years, and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP to be prepared and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham.
Intuitive pitching change, and the righty from Maryland who's in the portal tries to pitch out of a jam with a runner on third base and a 1-0 count to Quentin Coates. He comes set, just needs 1 out. First pitch, misses inside, 2 balls, no strikes. 6'2", 205-pound rising senior Dan trying to get out of this jam.
And he came into a high leverage spot last time. That was against Harwich in the top half of the 9th to put up a 0. Wareham went on to win the game.
2-0. Fly ball, right side, hooking foul, and out of play. Disaster averted.
Lucky break.
No doubt, but Koshy deals the first strike of the at-bat. Now a 2-1 count with 2 away. Coates 0 for 2. Walked in the second, popped out in the fourth, reached on an error in the fifth. It's J.P. Peltier on third. He was hit by a pitch. Koshy relieving Ethan Bioto. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Slider at 78 miles an hour. Trips up Coates, and now a 2-strike count in the bottom of the 7th.
Huge pitch right there from Koshi. Got to replicate here.
Right on right. Sets up the belt. Kicks, deals. Misses downstairs. 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count runs full.
Nice job from Nikolai there. Had it all the way, kept it in front of him.
Like you just mentioned, Dan, ton of room behind the catcher to the backstop. Wild pitch could score the go-ahead run. Bottom of the 7th, 3-2, 2 away. Koshi collects himself. The payoff. Called strike 3. A delayed response from home plate umpire Jeffrey Merzel, but Andrew Koshi comes in and escapes the jam. Sends Quinn Coates back to the first base dugout looking, and Wareham stays knotted in a 3-3 ball game. So Koshi maneuvers out of the jam, and now we send things to the third member of our crew, CeCe Gabriel. CeCe, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Adam. Right before the game, I talked to Gatemen pitching coach Eric Luxus and asked if there's anything that you want for your team by the end of the summer, what would it be? His answer was for them to draw closer together, but said that they aren't there yet because the team hasn't won. He went on to explain that winning heals, it is not just winning games, but winning innings. And so far, it has been a struggle for the Gatemen, 2-7, but this has been the first game they've been the first one to score on the board, and it's been a sharp and cohesive defense paired with one of the most efficient offensives that they've seen all season. He finished out by saying that despite the 2-7 record, he'd rather start this way than end this way, and that for the Wareham Gatemen, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Sending things back to you guys.
Thanks, CeCe. And for this Wareham team, they've gotten the pitching, and it's games like this where you feel like the staff as a whole can come closer together in a 3-3 game. They haven't been helped out a ton by their defense as we bring back in Dan Shalam. And Dan, 2 errors for the Gatemen in the field, and the runs haven't been earned, but it's a pitching staff where you feel like win or loss as a unit, collectively they can build off of this one.
Certainly, and it's unfortunate. This really should be a 3-1 game right now in favor of the Gatemen. The only real damage done that's been earned was that home run by the leadoff man, Colin Larson. And this 8th inning is essential here with Foster Apple coming to the plate. Harwich has punched you back in the mouth every time.
Misses up and in. Jason Krieger back to work on the mound for a clean inning out of the pen for the Mariners. It's the 3rd arm to toss for Harwich today. Relieving Ben Alexson. Pitch swung on, skied. Left field, hangs up for Charlie Bussey long enough to make the play. And there's 1 out in the top of the 8th.
Really unfortunate there for Foster Apple. He got great wood on the ball, drove it out into left field, but Bussey didn't really have to move an inch. He had it all the way.
Yeah, so instead of Braden Kersey, the designated hitter, we now have a pinch hitter. It's Levi Clark. Primarily a catcher and first baseman out of Tennessee. He digs in the right-handed batter's box, trying to give a spark. Braden Kersey's day is done. 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. Now 0 for 10 on the summer. The pitch, Clark swings and misses. Krieger gets him to chase below the zone in the count. 0-1. Clark did play yesterday. Pitch skips in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Was 0 for 3. But started the season 0 for 11 and then got his first hit against Harwich back on the 20th. He grounds the 1-1 pitch to the third baseman Pelletier, who snares it, goes to first. It's in time. Back-to-back putouts in the 8th for Jason Krieger.
That was a really nice play by Pelletier. It was a high chopper. He fielded it on the bounce when the ball was coming down. A nice scoop job, clean transfer, strong throw across the diamond.
Tied at 3, top of the 8th. Dylan Dubovic, a guy that has a little bit of pop in his bat. The right fielder from Miami is 1 for 3 with a double. Facing Krieger for the first time today. Right on right with the bases clear and 2 away. Out of the windup. Swings at the first pitch, grounded to the second baseman Curlin. Smothers goes to first, in time. Coates retires the side. Krieger goes 3 up, 3 down. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field, and no runners left on base. To the bottom of the 8th we go. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Mariners right here on Cape League TV. Game between the Gatemen and the Mariners. He turns to the 6'5", 250-pound right-handed rising sophomore Aiden Kitchings.
And he's another high-leverage guy here for Wareham. 2 appearances so far this season. The last one actually came against Harwich, where he put together a masterclass of 3 innings of 1 hit ball, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts with no runs given up. Wareham desperately needs that here in the bottom half of the 8th. You don't want to be coming from behind with just 3 outs to go.
He is behind 0-2. See what he goes to here. Fastball, slider, cutter, and a sinker. The 0-2, swing and a miss. All 3 fastballs, Maluski stood no chance. Back-to-back punch-outs for Kevin Maluski, and Kitchings retires his first batter of the evening. There's 1 away in the bottom of the 8th.
Really nice stuff from Aiden Kitchings. You need a 0 here in the bottom half of the 8th. And just straight up attacks Kevin Maluski. Never looked back, and now has to deal with Cade Curlin.
So Ethan Bioto's day is done. He goes 1 1/3. First pitch to Cade Curlin. Runs inside and hits him square on the back. And that is a 1-out base runner. So after Kitchings did a nice job firing inside the zone, the next hitter that he faces, he loses control. And now Curlin takes his spot over on first.
Curlin, somewhat of a speedy guy. Bussey coming to the plate. These two did match up the other night back in Wareham. Bussey grounding out to the first baseman, Levi Clark, in that game.
Kitchings so far 9 scoreless appearances this spring with NC State, trying to deliver another one in a 3-3 game in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch to Charlie Bussey. This is beneath the zone, and the count 1-0. Kitchings throws that fastball more than 40% of the time. His next 2 pitches, slider and a cutter. Those 2 combined about 50% of his offerings. The 1-0, 3 consecutive balls. And a 2-0 count on Bussey, batting 7th. From the stretch, Kitchings fires. Misses downstairs. 3 balls, no strikes. Bussey 0 for 6 this summer against the Gatemen. Wareham picked up its 2nd win of the summer against Harwich. That came back on Sunday. 3-0. This one a called strike. 3-1. Fastball outside corner. Kitchings starts to battle back. Bussey 0 for 2 today. Kitchings takes a look over his left shoulder. Now comes set at the letters. The 3-1, runner on the move. Pitch swung on and missed. Nikolai swallows it. Not worried at all about Curlin, who's into second without a throw. And now the Mariners have the go-ahead run into scoring position. Dan Cohen Nikolai threw out the first stolen base attempt of the day, but since then there's been 2, and he hasn't thrown on either one.
Both were strikeouts as well. It seems like he wasn't really ready to go on either, or just didn't seem to bother.
Now on a 3-2 count on Bussey. Harwich does steal the most bases in the Cape League. Curlin takes one that time. Kitchings calls for time, steps off the mound. Readjusts, takes the mid off his left hand. Now retoes the slab, stares in. Come set, and a payoff count. This is outside. Kitchings issues the free pass to Charlie Bussey, and now the Mariners have 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 8th.
Certainly not what you want if you were the Gatemen. And Kirikov's a very speedy guy. Nikolai trotting out to talk this one over here with Kitchings. Certainly a drag bunt situation. I don't think you're going to do it. Base hit scores the go-ahead run, but definitely a spot where Harwich could put the runners in motion. They've been very aggressive today out there. Haven't been afraid to try Cohen Nikolai. And he hasn't thrown down on the last 2 stolen base attempts either.
So the Gatemen bring the entire infield in. Nikolai gives a couple of pats on the backside of Aiden Kitchings. Mound visit breaks. It'll bring up Sean James, who's 0 for 7 this summer. All 7 at-bats have been against Wareham. He did face Aiden Kitchings back on June 20th. Right on right. Red mid of Kitchings. Pressed up against his left rib. The pitch. Hit in the air. Lined. Smoke down the line. This could score a run. Curlin gets the wave around third. Throw comes into Barnett. It's cut off, and Harwich has their first lead of the game. It comes off an RBI single from Sean James. His first hit of the summer is a big one. Mariners have the lead 4-3.
And that's really just Aiden Kitchings pitching himself into trouble. Came into this game, got the first batter with his strikeout, looked really strong. Hit by pitch, walk, and then you leave one up in the zone. A perfect place for James to get his first hit of the year, and now still work to do.
That's Micah Kirikov. Runners are on first and second. Curlin comes around to score. Bussey on second, James on first. Hit by a pitch on Cade Curlin, deems costly. First pitch. Bottom rail, called strike. That's now the second earned run of the game for Harwich against this Wareham pitching staff, but 2 have been unearned in a 4-3 game. Defensive errors proving costly. The 0-1. Fastball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Micah Kirikov, 1 for 2, singled his first time up. Since then, a walk and a strikeout. Up to the plate for consecutive innings. 1-1. Another fastball misses outside. Nikolai forced out of his crouch to prevent that one from rolling to the backstop. 2-1.
And this is a pressure-packed situation here for Kitchings. You're going against a 9-hole hitter that has shown flashes today of being at the top of the order, and you've got 2 speedy guys on base right now.
2 balls, 1 strike. And that is a pitch clock violation on Kitchings. Another ball for the right-hander, and now a 3-1 count. More of a hitter's advantage for Kirikov.
Just hurting himself in this inning.
Has to go here. He steals. It's cut on and missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So that time wasn't going to let the pitch count bother him. He's back atop the mound. He's ready to go. Trying to not let the past mistake repeat itself. 3-2, 1 away. Kitchings, the pitch. Grounded foul, left side. Kirikov stays alive in a 2-strike count.
Nice job by Kirikov just to battle. Runners stayed put on that full count, and see if they go on the move here. Kirikov, a guy that likes to hang in there and battle all the way through.
Bussey on second, James on first. 3-2, runners on the move. The pitch low, ball 4, bases are loaded. So Bussey did take off for third, but it doesn't matter because Kitchings has now walked his second batter, and after a leadoff strikeout, he hasn't retired each of the past 4 batters, and those came against the 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters, Dan.
It just seemed like that control that he had in the first at-bat of this game against Maluski just went away against the next four.
It's another pitching change for Wareham. Aiden Kitching's day is done. He departs with the bases loaded. 4-3, Harwich leads its first lead of the game. One away in the bottom of the eighth. When we return, it's Caden McDonald to take the mound for the Gatemen.
Child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights. Be prepared and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
To the bottom of the eighth, and it is not Caden McDonald, it is Mark Brissy out on the mound. For the Gatemen, he inherits 3 base runners. The bases are loaded. Aiden Kitching's day is done.
Aiden Kitching's just got into some trouble after getting the first strikeout here in the eighth, hit by pitch, walk, RBI single, walk. And then now you turn things over to Brissy, a guy who last pitched against Falmouth, let up 3 runs in the bottom half of the ninth, which tied the game at 8. He certainly needs a bounce-back outing, and Wareham needs to not let another run come across here in the bottom half of the eighth.
So the Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change is Mark Brissy with the bases loaded and 1 out in a 4-3 game. Facing the leadoff man, Colin Larson, who had a solo shot to tie the game back in the 7th. Brissy comes set, trying to get out of the jam with no further damage. First pitch, swing and a miss. 98-mile-an-hour fastball from Mark Brissy, and the count's 0-1.
Pitching with some passion today. That's the fastest we've seen him top out this season.
4th appearance of the summer for Brissy. 6'3", rising sophomore from Arkansas. Sets, deals. Popped up, left side, hooking foul. Into the lights and beyond the fence, strike 2.
And this is a massive pitch coming up here for Brissy. If you can ambush Larson, who had the solo shot last inning, get this second out, takes so much pressure off of you.
J.P. Peltier on deck for the Mariners. 0 for 2, but it's been hit by 2 pitches today. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 away, bottom of the 8th. Brissy collects himself, offers. Another one that's popped out of play, left side. Into the trees that sit behind the bleachers on the first base side. Here at White House Field, still a very, very pretty night. Temperature starting to drop as the sun sets. Lights on. Bases loaded, still in an 0-2 count. Brissy delivers. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brissy throws that fastball about 2/3 of the time. Other than that, it's a slider and a sinker. A 1-2 count. Bussy on third, he walked. James on first, he singled. Kirikoff on first. The 1-2. Tapped foul. It's ultimately the free passes that came back to haunt Aiden Kitchings. You touched on it, Dan, but with his 4 base runners, only 1 ball was put in play. James on first, he singled. Kirikoff on first. The 1-2. Tapped foul. It's ultimately the free passes that came back to haunt Aiden Kitchings. You You touched on it, Dan, but with his 4 base runners, only 1 ball was put in play. Sean James did barrel up the fastball, but outside of that, hit by pitch, 2 walks, not his best day. 1-2, 1 away. Catchings from the belt. Pitch downstairs. Fastball at 97, down a 2-2 count.
And the first couple of times that Brissy threw that fastball, Larson has been trying to keep up, just fouling it away. He's been seeing it now a few times and is familiar with the speed.
Larson, the leadoff man. Junior from Boston College, 2-2. High chopper, right side, past a diving Lyra. Everyone is safe, and Harwich adds another. 5-3, bottom of the 8th, on an impossible ball to the right side of the infield.
That ball was chopped so high in the air that it made it near impossible for Lyra to, A, pick it out of the air, but B, field it once it's put on the ground. That should go down as an infield single in my book. See what it is ruled as officially here at White House Field, but it's going from bad to worse quickly for the Gatemen.
It's split between Lyra and Hamilton. Neither one could collect it. It is a single, 5th hit of the day for Harwich. So an RBI single for Colin Larson. 2 hits, 2 RBIs. First pitch to J.P. Peltier. Strike 1, outside corner. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Peltier was 2 for 3 against Wareham on Sunday. Today, 0 for 2. He's reached base twice, was hit by a pitch both times. The 0-1. Grounded left side and foul. Hovered over the line and then took a spin off the dirt and ended up into the grass cutout. So the count now 0-2. Both pitches so far to Peltier have been at the bottom of the zone. It's mostly fastball slider for Brissy. Gets a sign from Nicolai. The 0-2. Grounded, left side, snagged by Barnett. He goes to second for 1. Hamilton turns, fakes the throw, and a run comes in. Now 2 outs. So Barnett goes to second, and Peltier takes second without a throw.
And still is pressure packed here. 2 outs, 2 runners into scoring position. A base hit puts this one to bed.
And both of the runs go down on Aiden Kitching's line. Brissy inherited 3 base runners. The 0-1 to Smolinski. Called a strike inside corner. A rare hitless outing for Ty Smolinski so far. Hitting .393, slotted in 3rd in the lineup today for the Mariners, but he's 0 for 3. It's the Wareham pitching staff that started the game excellently. It's been downhill ever since. 0-2, swung on and missed. But not before Harwich sends 8 to the plate and takes a 6-3 lead. A 3 spot in the home half, and now the Gatemen are down to their final 3 outs. Barnett, DeGiorgio, and Wax with their backs against the wall when we return on Cape League TV. Final 3 outs. Barnett, DeGiorgio, and Wax with their backs against the wall when we return on Cape League TV.
Dates, times, prices, and opportunities for your kids to have the most memorable week of their summer.
Top of the 9th, and Wareham down to its final 3 outs. It sends its 8-9-1 hitters to the plate. Caleb Barnett, Henry DeGiorgio, and Jason Wax facing the reliever Jason Krieger, who has fired just 13 pitches, 10 for strikes across 1 2/3. Last chance, Dan, for the Gatemen offensively.
just try and do something, put some pressure on Krieger. He really cruised in that 8th inning, worked a 1-2-3, and this Gatemen offense is really fell flat.
Wareham took a 3-2 lead in the 7th. Since then, Harwich, 4 unanswered. Out of the windup, first pitch to Barnett is a called strike outside corner. Mariners lead at 6-3. Barnett 0 for 3 today, 3 strikeouts in his debut on the Cape. Out of the windup, 0-1. Misses up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Jason Krieger. 1-1 count. Out of the windup. Misses inside at the belt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Barnett in his debut for the Gatemen after a spring with Alabama, making it to Omaha in the College World Series. 2-way. The 2-1. In her third, a called strike. Count levels 2 balls, 2 strikes. But Barnett pitched and hit with Alabama. Now trying to pick up some more reps this summer. 2-2. Wave and a miss. Barnett down on strikes for the 4th time today, and Krieger has retired the leadoff man in the top of the 9th.
Obviously not what you want to start your summer season if you're Caleb Barnett. 4 strikeouts today. Not a guy who really saw a lot of pitches at the plate with Alabama this past season. Might take him a little bit to adjust.
11th strikeout of the day for Wareham. Brings up Henry DeGiorgio. Shortstop out of Northeastern in his 2nd game with the Gatemen. First pitch, he swings, lifts it left side, out of play. Count 0-1. DeGiorgio did have the RBI double back in the 4th inning. Trying to spark a 1-out rally. Wareham's done it before against Harwich. It was a 6th spot in the bottom of the 9th on Sunday to power the Gatemen to their 2nd win of the year. The 0-1 hit up the middle, down for a base hit. DeGiorgio a 2-hit day out of the 9-hole for the Gatemen, and Wareham has a base runner in the top of the 9th.
Love to see it from Henry DeGiorgio after going 0 for 1 with a walk in his debut yesterday, finding his footing here with Wareham. Shoots a ball straight up the middle for the nice single.
That was Krieger's 20th pitch of the day. Nobody up in the Harwich bullpen. Now the lineup card turns over. Jason Wax, 2 for 4, doubled and scored his last time up. Trying to keep the line moving, propel another 9th inning rally. First pitch is outside for ball 1. R.J. Hamilton on deck for the Gatemen. It's a Wareham offense that has been far more productive in the back half of games as opposed to the front half. 1-0. Cut on and missed. Bottom of the zone. 89-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count now 1-1. But the Gatemen, for the first time this season, Dan, tonight, game number 10, scored first. Now Krieger comes set. Right on left, the pitch to Wax. Misses in the dirt. James keeps it in front of him, and it's 2-1.
Well, they scored first, but they failed to put up more than a run, which is what a lot of teams have done to them early in the game.
Yeah.
They don't just score first, they pile it on first and then play with a big lead.
Wareham did not trail until the bottom of the 7th of this game. 2-1 is crushed. Right center field, dropping fast. Kirikoff comes in, and it drops in front of him for another base hit. Back-to-back singles up the middle, and there's now 2 aboard, tying run to the plate, and R.J. Hamilton with just 1 out in the 9th.
That ball was smoked by Jason Wax into center field. Kirikoff put a nice effort on it, but he couldn't get there in time. And R.J. Hamilton, a guy who has hit a lot for contact in this game, has reached base 3 times in this one at the plate. Really a big spot where he could come through and keep on passing the baton.
Yeah, Wax, another 3-hit day. His 2nd in 3 games. 1 away, 2 on. First pitch to Hamilton. Checks his swing. It's a strike regardless. And the count 0-1. Wax lined it right up the middle. Sank fast on Kirikoff. A diving attempt, but couldn't come up with it. DeGiorgio on second, Wax on first. 0-1 on Hamilton. The pitch is punched foul right side, 0-2. So through 2 pitches, Krieger does a nice job responding after giving up back-to-back singles. Now Hamilton has to battle. Tony Lira on deck for the Gatemen. 0-2. The pitch. Tapped foul. Hamilton stays alive. Krieger peppering the zone in this at-bat. We talked about that game's first run. Wareham scoring first in the opening frame. It was Hamilton that singled and came around to score after an RBI single from Cohen Nicolai. The pitch. Slider tails away. Hamilton holds the swing, and it's 1-2.
That's great discipline because really all that Hamilton's seen here is fastball, and Krieger tried to slow him up and fool him with the slider there.
Right on right from Krieger. Comes set, the pitch. Another slider, another one that dives low and away. Now we're even at 2-2. Hamilton, the second baseman from Duke, steps back into the right-handed batter's box. Taps the plate a couple of times. Now rocks it over his right shoulder. The 2-2 pitch. Misses outside. Krieger liked the spot. Hamilton was down, 0-2. He's worked the count full in the top of the 9th.
What a pressure-packed pitch here.
With DeGiorgio off of second. Wax creeps off the bag at first. The 3-2, runners on the move. Swung on, line left side, hooking foul, and out of play. Hamilton out to first, no throw instead. Curlin swallows it. Hamilton reaches on a fielder's choice. Gatemen down to their final out. And it's Tony Lira who brought in 2 runs to tie the game back on Sunday, Dan, trying to provide some more late inning magic here tonight.
Certainly would be something special if he can do it. And if you want to pin someone down in this order that's due for a hit, it is Tony Lira right now.
So DeGiorgio over to third. Wax taken off the base paths on second, and a mound visit coming from Harwich. Just wanting to regroup with 2 outs, and Tony Lira is set to step to the plate. Lira, it's a very interesting start to the season for him. Began the season on a 7-game hit streak, but didn't total more than 1 hit in any of the 7 games. But since then, he's been 0 for 11, trying to snap that skid here tonight. His last hit was that 2 RBI single against the Mariners on Sunday. 0 for 3 against Falmouth, 0 for 2 yesterday against Orleans in a rain-shortened game, and he's 0 for 4 today. But a hit here would extend this game. We're in the top of the 9th. Harwich leads at 6-3. Mound visit breaks, and Jason Krieger set to deal to Tony Lira. Right on right. Gatemen down to their final out. Krieger winds and fires. First pitch misses down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Lira, the first baseman, batting third for Ryan Smythe. Second time this season Wareham and Harwich have played. The 1-0. Misses inside at the knees. 2 balls, no strikes. Lira's seen a couple of pitches now from Krieger.
He's done a nice job of controlling the zone so far.
For Ryan Smythe. Second time this season Wareham and Harwich have played. The 1-0. Misses inside at the knees. 2 balls, no strikes. Lira's seen a couple of pitches now from Krieger. Right at the knees. 2 balls, no strikes. Lira's seen a couple of pitches now from Krieger.
He's done a nice job of controlling the zone so far.
Swing and a miss. Krieger leaves 2 on. Lira goes 0 for 5 today. And that's how we end it. 6-3, your final. Wareham has dropped 3 in a row.
Just a brutal loss, really, for Wareham. You take the lead. 3 separate.
Back on Sunday, This time around, it was the Mariners that controlled the back. On Sunday, this time around, it was the Mariners that controlled the back half and scored the game's final 4 runs to win it 6-3. Harwich moves to 6-3 this summer. They snapped their 2-game losing skid. Wareham, on the other hand, drops to 2-8 on the summer and has lost 3 in a row. Harwich is back in action tomorrow against Hyannis. Meanwhile, Wareham gets the day off and then host Falmouth, a 6 o'clock start on Friday. That does it